no awareness of minor cultures. As a sporting event is a public event,
therefore we oppose this motion. This house would encourage students to use AI tools to complete their school assignments
on algorithms, neglecting the development of essential skills such as problem solving, analysis, and independence.
목적지가 있습니다. 200m 앞에 사고 나가
Also, we would like to remind the audience that the government has the burden of proof, responsibility to prove why we need this policy and prove how they will implement this policy so it will work as intended. While it's easy to state all the hypothetical policies of AI in the education system, we, the opposition, are focused on what will actually work realistically. Therefore, we oppose this motion. This house would encourage students to use AI tools to complete their school assignments. So the government already has a plan to implement a digital textbook by 2025. Digital policy that the government has gave previously, and contrary to what the government said, it is not going to benefit learning. And because why? These students will be using it for answer, just for the answer, without any thinking about their problem or trying to understand what they asked or what the AI has gave. Feel that their policy is not going to work, and I yield my time to the floor.
Okay, thank you very much for the strong speech. Okay, moving on.
According to Journal of Education, Technology and Society, they provide insight to the potential risks associated with over-reliance on AI tools, and it suggests that students who heavily depend on AI may experience a diminished capacity for independent problem-solving and critical thinking. Linked with a reason that I will explain later on, the main point that we are talking about is that using AI tools in school assignments has its over-reliance harms. We will link this evidence back to the motion and also which is their policy, encouraging students to use AI tools. According to Cambridge University, artificial intelligence systems are playing overreaching role in the misinformation phenomena that our world is currently having. Such systems boost the problem not only by increasing the opportunities to create realistic AI-generated fake content, but also and essentially by facilitating the dissemination of misinformation target users. Mr. Speaker, as more and more students start to use AI tools now because of their policy, they will expose and will spread misinformation that AI gave. How is this going to benefit the students if it's just teaching them wrong and fake information? No, it won't. And this is the lack of clear guidelines that we can lead to confusion among the students about how to use AI tools effectively and responsibly. So this is why we strongly believe that we don't need their policy and strongly oppose with this motion, and I'll yield my time to the floor.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, fellow debaters, I'm the whip speaker for the opposition side, and our team strongly oppose with the motion. This House would encourage students to use AI tools in completing their school assignments. Mr. Speaker, we agree with that AIs could be a beneficial tool for research. However, we are pointing out that AI shouldn't be replacing the students, enhancing their critical skills, their creative skills, which they should learn in their schools. But this won't work with the government team's policy. Before I go into my clashes and define them, I would like to point out 2 points to rebut. First of all, the government team keep mentioning about Zoom, but the point here that the government is not prepared is that South Korean government is not the worldwide government. The South Korea actually is using AIs. However, the fact is that South Korea is lacking their technical skills in the current society. So we believe that their policy, which will just encourage, how are they going to encourage? Which was just going to encourage students to use AI tools, will have no other benefits to students to use AIs efficiently. Now move on to my second question. They said that it will also increase learning efficiency because they will study in more convenient environment. However, Mr. Speaker, it's a common knowledge that AI tools are not efficient for students. Why are the teachers? Why are the parents? Why are they disagreeing with the current with using AI tools is because they are committing plagiarism. They are copy and pasting their whole essays and just altering a few points without their critical thinking, creative thinking. So this is a huge harm in their education. Now we move on to my third class, which was their preparation for the future and the ethical and educational harms. How do we guarantee that students will use it properly as mentioned if they didn't provide any specific information on how will it enact, who will enact, who will take advantage of these problems? I yield my time to the floor.
Thank you very much. That was a full 5 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed educators and honorable members of the government, we firmly stand in opposition to the motion that this House would encourage students to use AI tools to complete their school assignments. Because why? They were not clear what AI tools that students are using and how are they going to benefit the students. Also, wouldn't it be the hasty generalization that they are keep mentioning when they are certain that all students are going to use AI responsibly? They are ignoring the harms that is happening now, that's currently happening. In their best case scenario, proponents argue that AI streamlined the educational process, making it more efficient. However, this efficiency comes at a cost, the risk of stifling creativity and critical thinking. Picture a student relying solely on AI for their assignments. While they may produce a technically sound work, there's a danger that they become dependent on algorithms, neglecting the development of essential skills such as problem solving, analysis, and independent thought. In the pursuit of progress, let us not sacrifice the very essence of education, the cultivation of inquisitive minds capable of navigating an ever-changing world with resilience and wisdom. Mr. Speaker, fellow debaters, and honorable adjudicator, do you want your child, your precious child, to use AI tools, even though they are aware of the damage to critical thinking skills and problem-solving ability? No. Can you confidently suggest your own child to use AI tools, even though you're aware of harm that we have proven? No. So this is why we strongly believe that we wanted this debate, and I yield my time to the floor. 근데
논란이
그런 거를
생기고.
가지고 뭘 배우겠냐고.
Forgot Korean is like brother. My cousin brother.
We were so happy because we won and we were able to watch the next round.
I'm glad it got here. You guys started early.
Brand? Where's Brand? Where's
I think it's supposed to say branch,
Yes, I think so too.
but they clearly typoed.
You're a coach of a brand.
Yeah,
Maybe it means Cree versus Brand.
maybe. Brands. Yours is spelled right. Yeah.
Brand coach. Brand.
Hello, Mr. Speaker and fellow leaders. I'm the leader of opposition of the opposition side and I strongly oppose this motion. I introduce the template and rebut the previous speaker. So our first argument is why we don't need this policy. Second, why this policy won't work. Third, right harms, and fourth, social harms. I'll first rebut the previous speaker. So the previous speaker has said that the sport organization has already implemented their policy. However, it is not working for the athletes. Then how can we guarantee that their policy is going to work? Their policy is going to face the same consequences as the policies that the sport committee organizations has already implemented. My first reason is that the sport committee organizations are responsible towards the public. So many sports committees international are planning to or have already enacted policy of restricting the political expressions of athletes and sporting events. Yes, the government has mentioned that we need this policy to restrict the athletes from expressing their political beliefs. However, these sporting committee organizations have already enacted and implemented to deal with this situation because they had acknowledged this problem also. The NFL, the FIFA, and the ICC and various other organizations already have regulations of the expression of the political beliefs. Then, Mr. Speaker, is there any need for an additional policy to restrict this? No, Mr. Speaker, that shows that there is no single need for an additional policy to regulate the athletes. Ahead of Tokyo Olympics,
fellow debaters, I'm the deputy leader of the opposition side, and our team strongly oppose with their policy and this motion. Let me rebut the previous speaker. Previous speaker has mentioned that we need to do something. However, this is not the case that we need to do something. It's suppressing the argument's expression of a belief of athletes, an answer for our current societal problem. No. The main point of our opposition lies in the fundamental principle of the freedom of expression. Their policy, if enacted, poses a direct infringement of the rights of athletes to express their own political beliefs. While the government argues for the unity and the true meaning of sports, we assert that unity should not come at the cost of silencing voice. Athletes, like any other citizens, have their own right to share their perspectives, contributing to diversity of thought and makes our society vibrant and dynamic. Now, let me move on to my social harms. First, we're decreasing the social awareness. Beyond infringement on individual rights, banning political expression by athletes could lead to decrease in social awareness. Athletes often serve as influential figures with massive platforms. By expressing their own political beliefs at sporting events, they bring attention to pressing these issues, sparkling the essential conversation that resonates with global audience. According to Amnesty International, they emphasize the role of athletes as human rights defenders, utilizing their visibility to champion social justice causes. Banning political expression could silence these powerful advocates and limit the impact of sports can have on raising awareness about human rights abuses and societal injustice like we are currently doing, like athletes are currently doing. We are increasing the social awareness because of this. And this self-censorship not only stifles the diversity throughout the crucial for flourishing the democratic society, but also creates atmosphere where athletes may shy away from engaging in essential conversation about societal issues. This is not beneficial to our society at all, so this is why I strongly believe that we don't need this policy, and I yield my time to the floor.
Mr. Speaker, fellow debaters, I'm the whip speaker for the opposition side, and our team strongly oppose with the motion. This House would ban athletes from expressing their political beliefs at sporting events. Mr. Speaker, I would like to rebut the previous speaker and the government side throughout my clashes, and let me move on straight to the 4 clashes now well defined. The first clash was the problem that is happening in the status quo and versus why we don't need this policy. And moving on, it was the second clash, which was policy's benefit and the policy's harm. Let me move on to my first clash. The government team has said that the athletes are irresponsible and they are harming the pure meaning of sports and that politics and sports are different concepts. However, we have strongly proven that the sports committees are responsible towards the public and the athletes also responsible for raising awareness of minor cultures. If the sports committees, such as the IOC and the NBA, are keeping the same rules that the government is trying to enact, what is the useful enacting the identical policy that they are going to enact? No, it will cause the stark consequence that's happening in the current society. The point here, what we are talking about is that what is the use of pointless additional policy when we will create the same policy again? We don't need it. Mr. Speaker, we strongly believe that we want this clash because how is it going to benefit the whole public if the other society, other groups have no awareness of minor cultures? As a sporting event is a public event that is happening and worldwide citizens know, this is a really good place for sports athletes to express their own opinions, their own political opinions, to show and raise awareness on minorities in political concepts. Mr. Speaker, the athletes, as they are raising social awareness, as our previous speaker and I have mentioned, as they're raising social awareness, is also raising social awareness for who? The future generations, which are us. They are able to increase awareness on different social minor issues that are happening, political issues that are happening, and because of this, they're going to raise awareness and find a solution and alleviate this kind of problems that is happening in the current society. Mr. Speaker, we strongly believe that this policy won't work because there are too much harms and is maintaining the policy. I yield my time to the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed adjudicator and fellow debaters, we stand in firm opposition to the motion that this House would ban athletes from expressing their political beliefs at sporting events. We are focusing on individuals' rights, which is the common knowledge. Suppressing their own political beliefs beneficial to our society? No. And they are focusing, suppressing current problems and issues. Our worst-case scenario envisions a world where athletes, as influential figures, utilize their platform to bring attention to critical issues, sparking important conversation that can drive positive change to our Earth. While we acknowledge that there may be instances where political expression can be divisive, we believe that just banning this would stifle athletes' freedom of speech and hinder their ability to contribute to meaningful societal discussions. Examining the best-case scenario proposed by the government, we just consider the potential suppression of important voices. Banning political expressions may lead to our environment where athletes feel silenced and unable to use their platform for good. Our opponents argue for unity and entertainment, but we contend that true unity comes from acknowledging and addressing the issues that affect us all. Our worst-case scenario supports the idea that athletes, as representatives of diverse backgrounds, can bridge gaps and promote understanding by expressing their political beliefs. While acknowledging the potential for controversy, we believe that the benefits of fostering the open dialogue far outweigh their risks. This approach allows for a more inclusive environment where sports becomes catalysts for positive change to world. Athletes, as respected individuals from their own country, we should give them the opportunity to be able to express their own political beliefs, and it's just banning them from expressing their opinions makes people to be aware of global societal problems. No, just being aware of global societal problems begins with expressing our own individuals' opinions to the world. Banning expressing their political beliefs is violating their own rights, fundamental right as a human and as for the worthy individual of the global world. So, Mr. Speaker, this is why we strongly believe that we strongly oppose with this motion and oppose with their policy, and I yield my time to the floor.
지금부터 4강상 세미파이널리스트 어워드 시상하겠습니다. 세미파이널 어워드 관악팀 축하드립니다. 관악팀에게는 개인당 20만원의 상당의 상품, 3만원의 문화상품권, 상패가 증정될 것이며 그랜치로 전달될 예정입니다. 하나, 둘, 셋!